Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Surprise Jab Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ruger, surprising you with new topics every single week and jabbing you with your daily dose of UFC. Behold the UFC today, guys, because we have a very special surprise for you all today. We're making history with the first ever 3-guest episode in the podcast history. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to welcome the returning Jaiden Watson, the returning Cole Wachter, and a newbie to the podcast, Mr. Ryan Neihart. Gentlemen, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having us, Ruger. It's always a great time coming on.
Thank you.
Love supporting.
Thank you for the chance to have a debut. I'm very excited. This is my first podcast ever, so
very much so,
awesome.
Boys. And Ryan, I know you were mentioning me. You wanted to come on. You wanted to talk about NHL. So I figured, why don't all three of you just give the viewers a bit of background about yourselves, something they can know, something that lets them know that, hey, I'm knowledgeable about the NHL and I'm interesting to talk about on a pod.
My name's Jaiden Watson. I am a Wild fan of almost 22 years now. And basically I'm a homer, so expect some homer takes out of me.
Homer takes.
Homer takes, I like that. I'm Ryan. I've also been a Wild fan for, I guess, 21 years. Your birthday's a little closer, so you get the pass on that. I've been paying attention to the NHL for about 5 years now. Huge fan of the NHL. Love studying it. Love learning everything about it. Love learning the evolution of the game. So I feel like I'm very knowledgeable in that aspect.
Yeah, so pretty much the same thing. I've been a Wild fan my whole entire life, 21 years. But not just that, just an overall hockey fan. Just love the game overall, and just every single morning before school, I'd wake up, turn on NHL Network, and just watch highlights every single morning. So I've been watching the game for a long time. I feel like I know a decent amount about it.
Absolutely feel the same. That's how I am with UFC. Now, I want you all to give the viewers a bit about yourselves personally, maybe not about NHL. What is something exciting that people would like to know about you? Cole, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'm currently a senior at Minnesota State University, Mankato, same school that Ruger goes to.
Of course.
The host here. So I'm a sports management major. I just finished up an internship in Michigan doing ticket sales for a baseball team.
Very cool.
And I'm kind of just looking to move forward into hopefully like the big leagues or NHL, NFL. Just kind of work my way up.
Yeah, love that. Ryan.
Yeah, so I'm technically like a junior and a half. I kind of didn't take as many classes as I should have my freshman year, but everyone is on their own path. But I'm also in the sports management program and planning on getting my first internship here soon. My foot in the door, get started with it, get some connections, and then building off of that and evolving my knowledge and skills within the sports management industry and making it big one day.
Absolutely. That's the dream, Ryan.
Yep.
Future GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Yep.
There we go.
Speak into existence.
And my name's Jaiden Watson. I am a construction management major here at Mankato, so hopefully I'm project managing somewhere in the near future. And yeah, I'm just excited to be on the pod. You know me, I've been on before.
Yeah. His reputation precedes him. I can't remember. Did you guys predict the Stanley Cup champions correctly last time I had you on?
I believe I had a cup rematch, Vegas, Florida, and I had Florida winning, so I at least called the champ.
I believe I had Edmonton going, but I think I had Carolina going to the final.
Carolina's, I don't know what's going on with them, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, we'll be getting to a lot of NHL on today's episode, but a fun question, something to start off, get everyone's energy high, as I ask this to everyone. You know, I've heard stuff like, how's your day going? Like, what's up with you? What has been the most exciting thing that's happened to you guys this week? We're recording this October 2nd on a Wednesday. What's been the most exciting thing so far?
Most exciting thing for me was probably watching Monday Night Football, Seahawks-Lions game, and it came for one of my buddies. His fantasy matchup came down to Tyler Lockett. So watching those last 2 minutes where he had 2 missed targets was pretty exhilarating.
And he was 0.12 points behind.
And I love the Detroit Lions, so it was a fun game to watch.
It was between 2 0 3 teams, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
No Giants up.
Kind of a toilet bowl match.
For the fantasy football. Yeah.
Fantasy football.
Yeah, that was, I don't know how Garrett did not win that, but I'd be very sad if I was him.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I would also say the same thing. I had Kenneth Walker playing. He popped off. I think he had 33 points, maybe a little bit more than that. I also had Tyreek Hill, who didn't do anything, but Kenneth Walker picked up the slack. Along with Dave Montgomery.
So,
Some exciting,
some
right?
exciting. That's right. Definitely in the last week, the most exciting thing was getting my VA benefit check on October 1st from the government.
Ooh.
Let's go.
So that put a little government money in the pocket. That felt nice. Gonna try to save that as much as possible, but that is kind of hard. Yeah, that was pretty nice getting that though, for sure.
Very much so. Love that. Most exciting thing for me was my birthday the other day, and we were all out for dinner, as we recall. And the one thing that stood out to me is our waiter was bringing over a beer, and I don't know if our friend bumped into him or something, but he spilt a full beer.
No, I
Right
spilled
on
half the beer, and I got to finish the rest free. So
There you go. That was my most exciting thing.
that was my second most exciting thing.
Was slamming a beer that fell on the ground.
Yeah, second most exciting. Kind of
I think he had
exhilarating,
3
but that game was good, so gotta shut up Monday Night Football.
That was a fun game. It was fun to watch. I love it. I love it. And something else I want to know is, you are all hockey heads. Very big. You're always on the ice. You're always skating of some sort, whether virtually, whether in person. And I kind of want to know from each of you, where did your love for hockey first begin? Jaiden, we'll start with you.
Well, I started skating probably when I was 3 years old, just skating on the pond in the backyard with my older brother, but he didn't actually play hockey, so I was the first one to start playing. So it's kind of just like my own interest got me into it. No one really pushed me to do it. It was kind of all me. I just kind of fell in love with the sport, so been on it ever since.
Ever since then.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, my dad played hockey growing up, so he kind of influenced on me very early. Ever since I can remember, I was out on the lake skating, and then just eventually fell in love with it like Jaiden. And obviously growing up in Minnesota, hockey is top-notch here, so it's hard to go anywhere without thinking or talking or looking at something about hockey.
State of hockey, so.
Yeah, my dad also played hockey. He was a goalie, but he kind of got me into it. I remember one of my first memories that I have is skating on the outdoor rink by my house, a mile down the road. So that was just where my love started, and I've been playing ever since. So.
As we shared earlier, your favorite team, all the Minnesota Wild. Is that just because you're from Minnesota? Is there any other reasoning behind that?
They're the best team in the league, man. I mean, how can you not love the Minnesota Wild? Going to the X and the energy that's in there, it's hard not to fall in love with the team there. And obviously, they're the home team, and who doesn't cheer for their home team? So
You gotta cheer for your hometown team.
Yeah, I completely agree. Minnesota fans are diehard, especially with like the Vikings too.
Yeah.
There's no bandwagon Minnesota Vikings fans.
Nothing. Actually, there's no sport. I don't
think you can bandwagon Minnesota sports teams. There's nothing really to bandwagon right now besides playoff exits.
Maybe
So,
now that we're 4-0, but
we'll see about
Soon
that.
to be
we'll see.
5-0. Stay tuned. We will be dropping our official Week 5 predictions later on today's episode.
Excited.
But, I have 3 NHL experts here on the... Is that okay to say experts? Are you guys experts?
Amateur experts.
Amateur experts
Amateur experts.
in your NHL knowledge. All right. So there's just so much to cover, so many things to ask. One thing that I will first off ask you all this question is, what team do you think is going to be better than they were last season for the NHL?
I'm
Wachter.
going to start off with the Utah Hockey Club. I mean, they've had a lot of additions this offseason, especially Mikhail Sergachev, who's a really good defenseman. He's been playing for the Lightning, won about 2 cups with them, so he's going to be a big addition for them. I think they had a couple more pieces as well. So I think Utah is going to make a big push for a wild card spot this year. They're going to be fighting with the Wild, but we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to go with the New Jersey Devils for sure. They were expected to do great things last year, but were struck with major injuries, including Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but those are 2 of their highest paid players, so you are definitely hurting if you're missing them. And let's hope that they're both healthy this year, because I am a fan of the Devils, and I would like to see Jack Hughes succeed, and his brother Luke Hughes.
Brothers on the same team?
Brothers on the same
Very
team.
Cool.
Both drafted. Jack Hughes was drafted number 1. Luke was number 4, I think, overall. So, yeah, I'm expecting very big things from them if they can stay healthy.
And I was going to go in the Metro division and maybe pick the Flyers, but Ryan already went Metro, so I figure I'm going to go back to the Central with the Nashville Predators. I like the addition of Steven Stamkos and Johnny Marchessault. They have great defense led by Roman Josi and a great goalie, UC Saros, so I think that team is going to be pretty nasty this year.
Yeah, they have 1 year, though, to win it.
Yeah, I think their window is very small, but I think that they have a really good chance.
All of their offseason additions, I think, were at least 34 years old, I think.
Oh, old team.
They really have to push for it.
Yeah, they're going Cup now.
Now, I don't see too much NHL content, and that's just because of my personal preference. What I did see was the NHL draft, and correct me if I'm wrong, but were the fans booing the Utah hockey teams like owners or something? Is there a reason they don't like them?
I think there's multiple reasons behind that. One, because they drafted Tidge Iginla, whose son is Jerome Iginla, who was a longtime NHL veteran. Is he in the Hall of Fame, Jerome?
I think he might be.
Is he hated or something?
He's not hated, but
he's an all-star.
He will be at one point.
Yeah, he will be in the Hall of Fame at one point, but the Utah Hockey Club drafted Tidge Iginla, his son, the pick before Calgary Flames, the team that he played on for like 10, 12 years.
Oh.
So the fans they wanted to see his son go to the same team. But if I'm the Utah Hockey Club GM/owner, I'm doing the same thing because you want to take the best player.
Yeah, so it would have been like if Bronny James was the number 1 player in the draft and the Lakers had the number 2 pick?
Exactly.
Okay.
Or like Quinn Ewers whenever he declares for the draft. Maybe, or not Quinn Ewers, sorry.
Shedeur Sanders?
No, I got the Texas boys mixed up.
Yes, Arch Manning.
It's like Arch Manning if he somehow doesn't get drafted to the Colts or Broncos.
Or Giants even,
Giants.
Since he's the nephew,
Giants,
right?
Yeah, with Eli.
Yeah.
Which one's his dad, Peyton?
Neither, it's the third, isn't it?
Third
It's
one?
Cooper, right?
Oh, I think it is Cooper.
He was
Gosh, I didn't know
supposed
there
to
was
be
a
the
third.
best brother out of all of them, but he had to get like some terrible neck injury, surgery.
Oh, that's what they all say when they don't
But-
make it big.
He
Yeah.
was supposedly the most athletic one, which transferred over to Arch.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
So we got some teams that didn't do well last year, going to do better this year. But what about the vice versa? Who was a heavy hitter last season in the NHL that is going to take a dive off? Ryan, I want to start with you for this one.
They wouldn't necessarily be considered heavy hitters. They're like averaging the second or third spot in the Pacific Division. First is always Edmonton, just because they're so good.
Okay.
But I'm going with the LA Kings. I think they had a lot of notable roster departures and an injury to Drew Doughty, he's supposed to be out for at least, I think, 4 or 5 months. And he's their Hall of Famer. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame when he retires. So I think they're going to take a very big step back.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I'm going to go with out east, the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they lost a good number of players. And I know I'm not completely sold on their goaltending, and that's just my dark horse pick. I don't have access to the internet, so I can't check stats or nothing, so my takes are going to be a little wild today, but this is just all off the dome, and I'm going with Carolina. I think there's even a chance they're a wild card team or miss the playoffs.
Wow. All right. Wachter, what are you thinking?
I think I'm going to go with the Winnipeg Jets. I feel like they lost a little bit of chem this offseason. They lost a couple players. I just feel like there's something off over there. I know they have a couple of problems with attendance and fans coming to the game, so I would just say, I don't know, I think they're going to have another struggling year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And one thing I should have started with this is I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, they're going to be MMA fans like myself, or even just, similar people that I know, and a lot of people that I know that aren't you boys on here, they don't really watch the NHL. And with the season coming up, why do you think this season people should tune into the NHL? Why is this a must-see season?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say before the season begins, you should watch the docuseries coming out on Prime. I think that'll give you maybe a little behind-the-scenes look at the season and little bit more about hockey in general and get you amped up for the season. And I'm also going to throw out a good team to watch for you, the New Jersey Devils, of course.
As
Jack
mentioned.
Hughes, yep, they were mentioned as a team that's going to improve. I think they're just going to be a high-flying offense, and it's exciting to watch. So a lot of goals, and there's nothing better to watch than a couple goals here and there.
Yeah, so as he was saying, the face-off inside the NHL is what it's called, face-off inside the NHL. It launches on October 4th. He can't tell you that because he doesn't have access to the internet like I do right now, unfortunately. But to give fans that are on the outside looking in, to give them an idea why you should watch is because I think the balance of the league is the best that it's ever been right now. So there's going to be very close games night in and night out. And the scoring is up for sure right now. Last year, Austin Matthews had 69 goals. That was the first time.
One of the top players.
Yeah, one of the top players for sure. Top maybe 5 or 6, depending who you ask.
Top 3.
Or 3. I would say, yeah, it could go either way. But the scoring in the league is at an all-time high right now. Nobody scored 69 goals before Austin Matthews since like 1990, I think.
Oh, wow.
When he did that last year, and that's only supposed to go up in the trend. Maybe not for his overall goals, but in the league total. So if you're not watching now, you definitely should because it's crazy.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
Skill is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Yeah, going off what they said, I'd say just the speed and overall skill is way up. I mean, you have superstars like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, those guys who are some of the fastest, most skilled players to ever play the game. And you have young stars like Connor Bedard coming up as well.
Mm.
And there's a bunch of other young guys coming in the league like Carter Gauthier, Will Smith, some other guys as well. I think so. Just overall speed and skill.
Mm. Definitely, and I'm excited, honestly. You get me all amped, and I'm sure it'll be on all the time down here. And I wasn't going to do this. I really was going to resist, but you guys just got me all amped. So I'm going to go through all 4 divisions in the NHL, and I want you guys to give me your opinion on who's going to come out winning that division, and then we're going to break it down. And all 3 of you right here, this is before the first game's been played, are going to give me your official Stanley Cup winner. And actually, we'll do the 2 teams. Should we do 2 teams?
Yeah, full matchup.
Full matchup already. So we'll start out with the division that is not involving the Minnesota Wild, the team I'm most familiar with. That's the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference. You got the Bruins, the Sabres, the Red Wings, the Panthers, the Canadiens, Senators, Lightning, and the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs have, who do they have?
Austin Matthews.
So I'm just going to throw it out there. This is an open table round discussion. What's going to go down in the Atlantic Division? What should the people know?
What's going to go down in the Atlantic Division is the Florida Panthers are going to beat up on everybody. The Bruins are going to be a hard team to play against, big back end. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to have the best offense in the division. And the Lightning are going to fall off a little bit. That's my quick takes.
I kind of disagree with that Lightning take. That's my opinion that I think the Lightning are going to... I think they're going to do better than they did last year. I think they were the first wild card team with like 92 points in the Eastern Conference. They just had, I mean, as we said earlier, Mikhail Sergachev was a departure. He was huge in the
big piece
in the defense core. But they did add, and Stamkos. You cannot forget about Stamkos, longtime captain, left because he kind of had a little disagreement with the front office, but that's a different story.
Where's Stamkos at? I know him.
Nashville.
Really?
That was one of their old signings that they have to like win now. With
Interesting.
Them. So, but yeah, I disagree with that Tampa take. Boston is going to be a tough team this year. I think Matthew Poitras, he's a upcoming rookie. He played, I think, 10 games with the Boston Bruins last year in his rookie season, but he got injured, I think. So then he had to recover for the year, and then they just eventually sent him back to the junior league that he's in. So they're going to be a good team. Florida Panthers, like you said, is going to be a hard-hitting team. They're going to be tough this year. Obviously, just won the Cup. They're going to come out firing. Ottawa Senators, I don't know what's going on with them. They just had an injury to their star, Tim Stützle. Tampa Bay Lightning, I think they'll be top 3 in the division here. Toronto Maple Leafs, top 3. Boston or Buffalo and Detroit, I don't know what's going on with them. So that's all I got for now at the Atlantic. That's the most skilled division in the league right now.
Atlantic Division,
So-
most skilled division.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna agree with Jane. I think I have Florida winning this division for sure. I think I'm gonna say Toronto comes second. I think they're gonna have another good regular season and die off in the playoffs like
Yes,
they usually
sir.
do. They did add Albrecht and Larson as well as Chris Tanev to the team, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough to shore up their back end.
He's pretty old, so.
Yeah. And then as terms of Lightning, I feel like they're gonna be about the same team like they had with Stammer. Maybe a little worse, honestly, because of the chem they're gonna lose. And Stamkos was the captain for what, 10 years?
Long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
You won a chip with them, no?
3.
3 cups.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
3 cups.
And then, I mean, yeah, Jake Gensel's a really good player, but I think he just doesn't have that chemistry that Stamkos had. And they're both the same player, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I think Stamkos is going on to his later years of his career and his back nine. But
Yeah.
we'll see, though. We'll see. He could have a lot of points this year. I don't
Still
know.
nasty on the power play.
And then I think the Bruins are going to sneak into a wild card spot. They had Elias Lindholm. They did lose Jake DeBrusk,
Yeah, tough
which
loss.
is a big loss for them. I think that
Is he a good player in the league?
he's a good player. He went to Vancouver. We'll get into later.
Goal
But
scorer.
they lost a little bit of depth, but I feel like they're still going to be a really good team. Red Wings are still going to be kind of a young, coming up team. I feel like they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot. They might get one. We'll see. Sabres, another young team. Canadiens, the Senators, young team as well.
I just want to throw out there, I do not think that the Boston Bruins will be that as good as they would be if they don't figure out this Jeremy Swayman business real quick.
Yeah.
That throws a
That's
big
kind of a-
wrench in there.
What's going
for the
on?
season.
This Jeremy guy,
So,
huh?
Quick summary: they've been running with 2 goalies for the past 2 years. Linus Ullmark, Jeremy Swayman,
2 all-star goalies.
2 All-Stars. Ullmark actually won the Vezina for best goalie in the league. Not last year, but the year before. And then this year, it kind of switched to where Swayman was kind of the 1A and Ullmark might have been the 1B. And so Swayman was in a contract year. He's a restricted free agent, can only sign with Boston. And they decided to trade Linus Ullmark. So now the ball is essentially in Swayman's court. He's got all the leverage. He's the starting goalie now. So he's asking, I'm not going to throw out any numbers, but he's asking for a lot of money. And I guess ownership was offering him a lot less. And then there were some public comments that came out, and now there seems to be some fighting going on between Swayman and
Really?
the Bruins front office.
That's-
Slap in the face to Swayman.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Swayman ends up requesting a trade, which I think he should, or if he ends up signing the big deal that they supposedly have for him.
Keep in mind, the Bruins just traded Ullmark, who was their other goalie. They had that tandem, Swayman-Ullmark. They just traded him to the Sens. And so this deal should have been done right when they trade Ullmark. I feel like if you're going to trade one of those goalies, you have to get one.
You got to have
right
the
away.
other
Yeah.
deal
So they traded him to a
ready go.
division rival.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And they did
Very.
not get a lot back.
I
Bruins
think-
fans have been disappointed in the return.
I think Jeremy Swayman is trying to redo the goalie market, too.
Yeah.
He's trying to make the goalies get paid more with this kind of deal-breaking contract. But we'll see what actually happens because it's up in the air now.
Cap's going up, so he's trying to make that bread. Can't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Panthers, they have a goalie they're paying $10 million.
They just won the cup.
Bobrovsky, and they just won the cup.
Mhm.
So,
It's
Mm.
possible.
obviously, paying goalies a lot of money doesn't affect your team that
They used to say it wasn't possible to win with a $10 million player. Well, Florida just won with a $10 million goalie.
2, I think maybe 3 $10 million players, too. Barkov,
Barkov, maybe.
Kachuk. I don't know.
I don't know how much they're making.
They might be.
It should be.
Yeah.
Worth it for sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so Atlantic Division. What's everyone's official prediction right now for winner?
Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah.
So it's consensus. And who's the loser? Who's the worst one in the Atlantic Division?
That's tough.
Who's the Carolina Panthers? Who's the
That's-
New England Patriots
I'm
of the
going to
Atlantic
say the
Division?
Senators this year.
I
Who
was
just
leaning-
got the good goalie?
They just got
Yeah,
I was leaning Montreal. I mean, they're up and coming for sure, but
They did have a
that whole division is kind of good. I don't think any of them will be necessarily dumpster fire.
Montreal just did have a huge injury in Patrick Laine.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. This division is tough to decide. It's up in the air. Any team any team other than Boston, Florida, Tampa, and Toronto could be super good or really bad. I don't know how to feel about it.
It's a tough one to pick. Official pick, though, Montreal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, probably same.
Yeah, I feel like they got the weakest goalie of most of these teams, and the Red Wings are they seem like they'll just be a mid-team. Same with the Sabres, so it's got to be Montreal.
Sabres are contingent on Jake Sean.
Yeah, I do like what they're building out there in Montreal, though. Who knows? Maybe Lane Hudson goes crazy and proves me wrong. But
Yeah, former first overall pick, Juraj Slavkovsky, he kind of had a breakout year the second half of the year last year, so I'm excited what he can do on that first line with Caulfield and Suzuki. It'll be very interesting.
Still a good team to watch, but I can't pick anyone else.
Yeah.
Really young.
Alrighty, well, I'll get my future bets in. Money line for the Panthers.
Florida Panthers.
Florida Panthers. That's the team. Well, we're going from the top of the Eastern Conference, if you're looking at the Google list of NHL teams. We're going down the other half, the Metropolitan Division. You got the Carolina Hurricanes, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the, as we mentioned, New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, Philadelphia Flyers, the Penguins, and the Capitals. Ooh, and the New York Islanders. Are they forgetful this year? Should I be forgetting about the Islanders?
They had some
snooze fest.
They had some good additions.
They got Barzal. I don't know who they added off the top.
Anthony
Duclair.
Duclair. Yeah. He's gonna be a good addition to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that clip of him in Barzal preseason. That was kind of a nice play.
Yeah.
I think they did need more scoring, so
yeah,
that makes sense to me. But
that first line of Duclair, Horvat, and Barzal could.
I forgot to
do
do
very good.
Horvat. Yeah. Noah Dobson's pretty good. They got a good goalie, but
they have the stars to do it, but we'll see if they have the depth.
They're just notoriously a defensive-minded team and don't score very many goals. Mm-hmm. Went off solid defense and good goaltending, so that's why I call them a snooze fest.
Yeah. But other than that, I'd say the Rangers are going to take the division again. They won the President's Trophy last year for best regular season, but fell short in the playoffs. I think they're going to have another good regular season, make the playoffs again. I don't know if they're going to win the Cup, but I think they have another good regular season. I'm just going to be better. Hurricanes are going to be a little worse, I feel like.
Slightly, but still good, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this division is very this one's very interesting because you have Pittsburgh and Washington, two Hall of Fame players, both chasing records. Ovi with the goal record, Sid with, I don't know what record it is, but he's so good, so I made that up.
Yeah. He's chasing some record.
Definitely chasing something, but I mean, obviously he's the best player in the last 20 years, so. But yeah, those two teams are going to be very interesting. They have 2 years left of these star players, superstar players, so.
We'll see if they try to buy and run for another cup, or do they just ride out the last year's kind of missing playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington is just going to chase that goal record, and then Ovi's going to retire, and then they're in full rebuild mode. Yeah. Pittsburgh, I don't know, because Sid could play for another 5 years if he wanted to.
Yeah. I really like the moves that Washington made this offseason as well. They had Mangiapane, who's a really good top six forward. Also like adding Duhaime, a little depth, some physicality on that third line.
What about Pierre-Luc Dubois, laziest player?
Dubois as well. It's a bad contract, but he could be a solid player.
Yeah,
maybe. Turn around. And then they also have Jacob Chicken on the back end.
This could be Pierre-Luc Dubois, Sam Darnold year. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? Maybe he just needs that trust.
Yeah.
Maybe the Washington Caps will give it to him.
The Philadelphia Flyers are going to be interesting because they just brought in their superstar in Matvei Michkov, who they drafted, I think, 7th overall in
steal of a
2 years ago. Yeah, he was a steal of a pick because he's from Russia and he had a contract under the KHL league. I don't remember what team it was with, but he couldn't come over. Teams were uncertain when he would be able to come over if that contract.
I remember this from the last time we spoke about this contract thing with the Russian league.
Yeah, kind of like the Minnesota superstar in Kirill Kaprizov. He had the same deal, but teams weren't sure when he was going to come over, so he fell, and then Philadelphia absolutely stole him. He should have been second overall, behind Bedard, I think. So, yeah, they have a superstar in Michkov, and I'm very excited to watch him.
Yeah, he's going to be a really good player. And who's your division winner?
Was it a consensus Rangers for everyone?
He picked the Rangers. We haven't picked him.
Interesting. Wachter going with the Rangers.
I would say this one's tough. This one's very tough because New Jersey has the pieces to go for a record type of year.
I need one team right now.
This one's tough. Give me New Jersey.
New Jersey
Give me
Devils.
New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, I was gonna say New Jersey, but I hate that you picked them because now we're both riding New Jersey. But they've been looking for one thing for the past couple of years, a goaltender, and they just got him, Jacob Markstrom.
Yep.
I think he's a really good goalie. He's gonna fit in really well. They have a great back end, and obviously a great offense. Young superstar Jack Hughes, and I think they're gonna be a really, really good team this year, assuming no critical injuries.
I have a dark horse.
Jack Hughes stays healthy.
Yeah, Jack. Hopefully, he's a good thing to see when he stays healthy. But I think a dark horse team to potentially get the second wild card spot. This one's very dark horse, but the Columbus Blue Jackets. I would say that.
Wow.
That's very bold, I know, but I would say that because I think everyone on that team is going to be very motivated to do the best they could because of the recent passing of the brothers, the Gaudreau brothers. So I think everyone on that team is going to work their absolute bag off, and it could spark some magic. They could catch lightning in a bottle. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I
I
see
don't
what you're
see it,
saying,
but-
but
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's happening. That's why I said very dark horse take here, but
I
maybe.
could see them maybe being like a Philly Flyers from last year, where it comes down to like the very last game and another divisional game going on the same night, and maybe they sneak in 1 point ahead or with a tiebreaker. But I'm gonna be honest, I was gonna put them as my worst team in the Metro, simply because they're losing such a superstar player in Johnny Gaudreau, and also the fact Patrick Laine, goal scorer, is no longer with them.
Yeah, I was
Granted,
gonna
he was hurt a lot, but I was going to have him in the basement of the league, to be honest.
yeah.
Louisiana was the worst team in the league.
As-
One of the worst teams.
As sad as the Gaudreau deal is.
I also think they're going to be the worst team in the league, but I'm just saying they could catch lightning in a bottle. If they do, I said it here first.
I'm surprised we have
On the surprise,
All
Jeff
right, what's
said
the
it.
take? What's the take to quote
The
it?
Columbus Blue Jackets could sneak into the second wild card spot in the I'm blanking right now.
You just
Eastern
forgot your own
Conference.
take.
In the Eastern Conference because of recent things that have happened with their team. If you know, you know. It's a touchy subject.
Alrighty. So everyone's taking different teams, or you're both
Me and
going
Ryan are
Devils.
both
I
on
got-
the Devils.
yeah,
I'm
Devils
on
over
Rangers,
here.
Rangers.
Rangers, and we'll just make this very simple. So we've gone over both Eastern Conference divisions. All right, we've picked our winners. But who is officially representing the Eastern Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals? This isn't your winner. This is who's representing the Eastern Conference.
I'm going to be honest. They missed the playoffs last year, but I'm rocking with the Devils, man. I think that team,
Really?
it's either going to be them or Florida. I picked Florida last time. I do think Florida's good, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I do like everything that they got going on in New Jersey, and I figure why not throw out a little bit of a dark horse. Granted, I haven't won in the division, but they just haven't had much recent playoff success. So to call them in the Stanley Cup final is a little bold, but I'm going to do it.
That was my first pick as well, so I'm going to go with my second pick in the New York Islanders
Islanders.
Wow.
and the Cup Finals. That is very
More dark
bold.
horse than mine.
That is very
That's a
bold.
Really big dark horse.
But they have the pieces and the depth to do it. They just have to make it work. So that's my dark horse.
I love it.
You gotta figure out how to score.
They do have to figure out how to score, and they had a huge
Which is pretty
addition.
important.
They had a huge addition in Anthony Duclair, who is a proven goal scorer who can fit in very well on that first line. So we'll see.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say there's gonna be three teams at the top. It's gonna be the Florida Panthers, Devils, or Rangers. One of those three teams are gonna make the Cup final of the East. Panthers did lose a little bit, and Monster has some depth, so we'll see if that depth scoring can.
And can
pick up.
Reinhardt score 50 again?
Yeah, big contract, signed 8 by 8.6, so big deal. And then as far as the Devils go, yeah, they're gonna be kind of a dark horse, just because they have much success last year, but I think they'll be better.
I'm praying on no injuries there for my cup pick.
Yeah, and the Rangers have been a solid team for the last few years. So.
Any hockey fans that don't know contract talk, 8 by 8.6 is 8 years by $8.6 million
Per year?
per year.
Per year.
So,
Oh, wow.
So that's in the $64 million plus range.
yeah.
So, Wachter, what was the official prediction?
I'm
One
gonna
team.
go I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
Panthers.
I like it.
We got the Panthers. We got the
That's a good
Islanders.
pick.
We got the
I
Devils.
just couldn't pick the Cup champs. So
Yeah, I couldn't pick the Cup chance, and you took my first pick, so I had to go a little.
Damn.
I had to go a little backdoor there.
That's crazy.
Alrighty, well, we're heading out the door of the East, and we're heading into the Pacific Division in the Western Conference. That's where we'll start. I know you're pointing at me. We'll save the Wild for last. We'll save their division. Let's go to the Pacific. If anyone doesn't know, the Anaheim Ducks, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, LA Kings, San Jose Sharks, Seattle Kraken? Canucks, where are they from? Vancouver Canucks, and the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Gentlemen, who's taking the Pacific?
obviously the Edmonton Oilers. They got McDavid. They got Draisaitl. They just added Jeff Skinner. They got Nuge, 100-point player, quietest 100-point player in the league. Evan Bouchard, Stuart Skinner.
Also add Victor Arvidsson.
Yeah, they're gonna
Also,
be,
Jeff Skinner as well. That'll be a huge add, I think, on the top six. And they added, they traded McLeod for the prospect in Buffalo.
Not Matt Savoy, was
Yeah,
it?
was Matt Savoy, who
He's in the A, though.
he's in the A. Really,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
sent him
that.
to the AHL.
I thought he would have been playing up there.
They did have
But-
two big losses, though, in losing Holloway and
Who's that defenseman?
Broberg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Phil
yeah.
over
Yep.
To
to
the
St. Louis.
yeah,
those are two good young players, and it'll be kind of a big loss.
yeah. They're still gonna be very good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, they're gonna
be
win.
for the cup.
Yeah,
They got McDavid. That's kind of the simple answer there.
they're shoe in first for the Pacific.
Yeah, easily. As for worst in the division, I'm going to go Calgary Flames. They just lost Markstrom. I don't know who their goalie is even.
Dustin Wolf.
Is he
He's
coming up? Is
he was a highly
Another
touted
two?
prospect, but he's 22, so
He's a young goalie, so I don't know if he's starting or not, but I just don't. There's not much going on up there, so.
There's also not
Sorry,
much going on in
Calgary.
Anaheim or San Jose either. I mean, San
Anaheim.
Jose is really young. Anaheim's getting better. They're young as well. But
Anaheim's my dark horse to shoot for a wild card this year.
really,
yeah, I
think
can
Carter is gonna be.
I think some of their young players take a step.
get
They
behind
still
that.
got John Gibson, so.
I can get
I love
behind that for
BB.
sure. I think Vancouver and Vegas are gonna be competing for that second spot in the Pacific. The loser of that competition will get the third spot. LA, I don't think they're gonna be
You
too
You
good.
had them falling off.
I had them
right?
falling off. I think they're gonna miss the playoffs. Obviously, Edmonton's gonna be the first in the Pacific, and I would say Anaheim sneaks in too. I like that hot take. I can get behind.
I
that
would
hot
see
take.
them as like the 8th seed, but that I don't know. I kind of think five are coming out of the Central
They're only getting in if a couple teams have some major injuries
in the Central.
in the Central Division.
particularly.
Central Division is the best division of the league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Two-
stacked.
Two players to watch out for in the Pacific, I would say Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini, both on the San Jose Sharks. Macklin Celebrini was the first overall pick last year. Will Smith was 2 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
3 or 4. Both supposed to have some good years coming up. So if you're a San Jose fan, be excited.
Alrighty, that's the thoughts on the Pacific Division, boys.
Yep.
Edmonton clears.
Wow. So consensus, everyone's rocking
Yep.
with the Oilers.
Edmonton's just too
Back with
good.
the Oilers.
Easiest division.
What about the Golden Knights? They gonna be good? I have a Golden Knights hat at home.
I think
I saw
Vegas and Vancouver will be mid-90-point teams.
one. Which means
95-point
Pretty good.
teams. So every win you get 2 points. So do the math, however many wins that is. Every overtime or shootout loss is 1.2.
If you're 90 points on the season or higher, you typically make playoffs.
Yeah, you're going to the playoffs this year, 90 points or higher. I think Vegas and Vancouver will be in the same boat there.
Yeah.
Go for second or third in the division,
Agreed.
either or.
Alright. I like it, gentlemen. I like it. The Pacific Division, some good takes. But now we get to the NFC North for any of my NFL fans of the NHL, that is. The Central Division, where the Minnesota Wild play, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Colorado Avalanche, Dallas Stars, Nashville Predators, St. Louis Blues, Utah Hockey Club. Oh,
Yeah.
it just sounds
Yeah.
gross. And the Winnipeg Jets, gentlemen. Central Division.
Who wants to kick us off?
Wachter, hit us with it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start off with the Stars. The Stars, I thought, them and the Avs were the best teams in the division last year. Stars are gonna be really good again this year, along with the Avs. falling behind them. I think the Penguins are going to be a lot better. Like we said earlier, they made big additions. And Stamkos and Marchessault. Those are two good top 6 players. And then also Utah's going to be better, like I said earlier in the pod. Jets are going to fall off a little bit. Blues, Wild, Blackhawks. The Wild are kind of wild card this year. I like that.
Oh.
I'm with you there.
Wow, you boys are I can't believe that. I got Wild going second in the division behind the Dallas Stars. I think
Alrighty.
that's maybe a hot take, depends who you ask, but I'm a diehard Wild fan. Utah's going to be very interesting. They just had a big extension to Dylan Gunther. I think it was 8x8, 8 years, $8 million a year. I think that's what it was. So they're going to be very interesting. Obviously, new team in Utah, new history, so it'll be interesting to see how they do.
Yeah. All right. I got a full list here for you. Division 1 through 8. Dallas is taking it. I agree with Wachter there as much as I hate the Stars. Their team's kind of nasty. And Colorado, who knows what's going on with Nichushkin out there. Their top 6 is, there's a lot of star power there, but the depth is concerning for me. I mean, they're still a great team, so I'm going to throw them at 2. I honestly got Nashville at 3. They got Roman Josi, they got UC Saros, Forsberg, Stamkos, Marchessault, as we've all talked about. Tomasino, good young mix, some gritty guys. I got the Wild at 4, number 1 wild card spot. Obviously, Homer, we're going to make playoffs. Assuming no bad injuries, but I think a couple players take a good step. Marco Rossi, Matt Boldy, Brock Faber, of course. I think I'm really hoping he's in the Norris conversation. I think maybe he could be, but we'll see. I just expect a lot of better seasons from some of our aging vets, too, who just signed extensions. I think they feel the pressure from the fans. So I got us. I mean, we could even take that 3rd spot over Nashville if the vets really come through. And then from there, I got Utah as the 2nd wild card. I like what they got cooking out there. And then just a quick recap: Jets at 6, Blues at 6, Jets at 7, and the Hawks still last in the division. So I'm a Hawks hater.
I could agree with that. Hawks might not be last. I mean, I hate the Hawks also, but they had some huge additions in the offseason. We shall see how that goes, but they're also, who knows, they're the Hawks, so have fun.
I don't think that they're better than any of the Blues. Had those big additions with the offer sheets. They had, I think, some injuries last year too, so I think they're gonna maybe be a little bit better of a team, but with how stacked we are, I think they lose a lot of division games, which hurts them. And then obviously I don't like the Jets either, so I had to put them at 7 because they're obviously better than the Hawks. They have Connor Hellebuck, so
Yeah.
But
Hawks are going to be a better team, but they're still going to be the worst team in the division.
yeah, my list could easily be very wrong. I mean, Winnipeg did they make playoffs this year?
Yeah.
I mean, Hellebuck just won the Vezina, so
Yeah,
I mean, they
I
could
think so.
easily be in playoffs, but I'm gonna throw them at 7 because I hate them.
Did
Yeah.
they play Stars first round?
Who?
I don't know.
Jets.
Yeah,
They played. Shoot.
I don't know who
Stars
they
or
played.
Oilers?
It was the Oilers, because I think the Oilers played the Kings again. Right?
Or did they play
First round?
Vancouver?
I don't know. I
I
can't
don't know.
forget. Or I can't remember.
They're
But
they're not a memorable team, so
Our
This,
amateur
uh,
experts trying to recall last
that's
year's
why I said
playoffs.
amateur.
This division is very interesting. I think it's the most balanced division in the whole league. Any team could, maybe not any team. Chicago is probably not going to make the playoffs, but I would say any team could sneak in at the 2nd wild card spot for sure if they strike
Yeah.
luck at the end of the season.
I think that one's a toss-up regardless. I think it could easily be any of St. Louis, Winnipeg, or Utah, but I like what Utah's got going on, so I picked them.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, and I just want to throw out there because you're mocking my amateur experts. If I was able to use my phone, I would have had all the stat. I would have had everything pulled up. I would have been able to tell you who they played.
That's just a running
But
gag
but
for the pod that
but
you
I
don't have
can't-
internet for
yeah,
anything.
But I can't use it. So I would have had the facts for you, but
Winnipeg played Colorado.
makes
Nashville
sense.
played Vancouver. Vegas against Dallas, and LA and Edmonton.
Oh, I recall because we all thought Vegas was going to play. Who was it? We didn't think Vegas was going to play the Stars, so all of our brackets
Oh,
we
yeah.
made
All of
last
our
time
brackets were masked.
Yeah.
I
Why
said
are
we
you-
should have waited until after. The
Yeah, why are you
full
making
bracket
brackets
came out.
before the?
I
It was
said-
like it was the
one
day.
game.
I think it was the
I
day
s-
before
I
it ended.
suggested
Oh.
it, but Ruger was antsy to get us on the pod for cup predictions. So
I couldn't complain about getting the
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean I understand the hype, but there's that.
yeah.
And I don't know. Who do you think is leading the Wild?
In the Wild this year?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously got to be Krill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kirill is due for a breakout year. He's been injured the past 2 years. The one season he wasn't injured and played fully because his rookie season was a COVID year. The one season he played fully, he had 108 points, I believe, with 47 goals.
He also had a younger Zuccarello, and he had Fiala on the power play. So
Yeah, that definitely helps, but I think Boldy and Fiala, Boldy's going to have a breakout year, which is going to boost Kirill for sure. I think Eck is going to have a breakout year, but yeah, I got Kirill going for 110, 50 goals.
50 goals,
50
60
goals.
apples.
60 apples.
Just being the top
I
dog.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
He's winning
right.
the Hart Trophy, too.
So,
MVP.
It's a big prediction.
well, let's
Yeah.
wait on the
Or
predictions
the MVP
just
of
for a
the NHL,
second. No MVP picks yet. We're gonna
Most
save
valuable
that.
player of the team.
Alrighty. So what's everyone's official Central Division pick? Who's winning the Central?
Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Consensus.
Dallas Stars.
They got Ottinger. They
Dallas.
got
First team
Iceland,
hot.
They got Robertson. They got Rupe Hintz. I love Rupe Hintz. Quick skater.
Yeah.
Young. They got a
They're-
good mix of young and middle-aged stars. So
Yeah, Stars
It's a
are
big team.
Stars are winning it. Chicago, I think it's consensus, is going to be the last two. So
yeah.
Well, alrighty. Someone sent the Devils. Someone sent the Islanders. Someone sent the Panthers. Who is representing the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals? And then we'll
Is
get
it-
into who we think's winning.
Is it as consensus as I think it might be, or is
it is.
Ryan gonna throw out some goofy pick?
I got.
He's gonna
Because
throw something.
I
Yeah.
think if Gabriel Landeskog can come back for Colorado and fit in on the second or third line, I think they have the best chances of coming out of the Western Conference.
that
Who?
surprises me.
Gabriel Landeskog, so he's their
He's their
captain.
captain.
Of
Of the Colorado
the
Avalanche.
Avalanche.
So
Gotcha.
he's been injured the past 2 years. He was a big piece of their cup run when they won the cup in 2021. So I think he can fit in very well this year if he is back to 100%.
Alright.
I kind of thought we were all gonna go. Team just lost in the championship. They got
I know.
McDavid. How do you
That
not pick the
documentary came out.
Oilers? Yeah, I think there's no way that McDavid doesn't win his first one. I honestly, not to spoil my winner, but I just there's no way that McDavid doesn't drag that team to the playoffs. I mean, literally, what did he set the assist record in playoffs or the points record?
He set the points record, I'm pretty sure, and
I don't know.
playoffs because it was like
Yeah, I mean, he had just an insane playoff run to drag the Oilers with
The
almost no
Oilers.
goaltending all the way to the Cup Finals and to Game 7. So
he was 5 points shy of Wayne Gretzky, who had 47. He had 42.
it was the assist record.
It was the assist record. Let me see that.
Yeah, he broke
Yeah.
the assist record.
He broke the
so-
assist record in the playoffs. He also had 100 assists in the regular season, which that's the first time it happened in I think like 30 years or something.
Yeah, and I know they got money to play with during the year. They're not too cap tight. I think they make some good trades come trade deadline time. Ship out a few picks, maybe ship out Matt Savoy if he's still on the A. If it means that the Cup's coming to Edmonton, you think they're not doing that?
You have to.
Hell, I
Yeah.
would. Yeah, you just traded for him, but
I mean,
it's
you
tough
gotta
now. You got McDavid in your 10. You
if
gotta
you're
do
not
something.
trying to make your team the best possible, then what are you doing as a general manager? Who cares if you have relations with some players? It's a business. All you're trying to do is win.
If you have the opportunity to win a cup, you got one.
You gotta win
Yeah,
the Cup.
that's
And I
the
think Edmonton, easy.
That's the whole point of the job is make your team as best as possible, no matter what.
Yeah, I like that. That's hey, you're saying.
I mean, it's a business.
Yeah, you're the GM. It's the decision you gotta make. So Wachter, Jaiden, you guys are going with the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ryan, Colorado Avalanche.
Colorado Avalanche, if Landeskog can come back. If not, Oilers for sure.
Okay, well, we're going to stick with the Avalanche to keep it spicy.
Yeah, we'll stick with that.
So we've been through all four divisions, all the teams they've battled. We're now to the finals. Ryan, I want you to kick me off your Stanley Cup finals. Take me through what the 7-game series is going to look like between the Avalanche and the Islanders?
So I think
Which sounds kind of goofy now that I said it out loud.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
saying it out loud. That's a
it sounds
cup
goofy,
final.
but I think Avalanche get it done in 6 at most, 6 games. It's going to be hard for the Islanders to make the playoffs, but I think that they can do it. I really do. But yeah, I would have the Avs in 6 games. First game, it would be home for the Avs probably because they would be higher in the standings. They're going to just absolutely shut down the Islanders. First game at home at Ball Arena. Second game at home, I think it's going to be a little bit tighter because the coach is going to be on the Islanders because they probably got rinsed the game before.
Ooh, real quick, now that you bring up the coach, former Colorado Avalanche goaltender and former coach Patty Waugh is the coach of the Islanders, so there would be some drama going on there for sure.
Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche goaltender Patty Waugh. So that is one of the best goaltenders of all time. But yeah, I think game 2 is going to be a lot closer. Colorado still gets it done in game 2. Game 3 at wherever the Islanders play. Forgot their arena name, but Islanders get it done. Game 3. Game 4, Colorado gets it done. Game 5, I think the Islanders get it done, and then game 6, I think Colorado will close it out.
You think Nate Dogg is going to let the boys lose at home game 5?
I do. I really do. I think because Patty Waugh is a very hard-nosed coach, he's going to be on the boys. I hope he's on the boys. He's got to get them disciplined and dialed, and I think that'll be the spark for that game. But
who do you think is carrying the Islanders this far?
Give me Noah Dobson. I think
Noah Dobson.
I think Noah
like
Dobson is due for a breakout year for sure. 100%. He's very skilled. Yes, on offense.
That would be a wild Stanley Cup final.
That would be a wild Stanley Cup final, but
yeah, you might be one of very few who would ever pick that. Yeah. Only
is this
Colorado and Islanders fan? Yeah, you
I should bet that.
Is this like when you make a March Madness bracket and end up with the 6-seeded Tennessee playing the 10th-seeded Butler or something?
Yeah. Probably like the Commanders versus the frickin' Bills or something.
I was gonna say it's like the Rams versus who's a wild team out in the AFC. I don't know, like the Jets.
Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens. Oh, but the Ravens are good. Who's a decent team. Yeah. Well, I said Rams as the Avalanche because they both just won championships a couple years ago. So I was trying to think of just fringe playoff team out in the AFC.
I like this though. We're not going with the Kansas City Chiefs every single year. Ryan has spiced it up. Yeah. Now, Wachter, I want you to walk me through your Stanley Cup championship between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers.
A rematch.
Ooh, there we go.
As much as I hate to pick that, I just think those are the two best teams. But I think this year's going to be a little different. I think the Oilers are going to have that extra juice. I think they're going to make a couple good additions in Arvidsson and Skinner. I think that's going to help out their depth. They've always needed that depth scoring. They have good defenders in Ekholm and Bouchard. So I think the Oilers are going to get it done in about 5 games. I think it's going to be kind of a quick series this year. I feel like the Panthers are going to be kind of banged up. I just have a feeling like they were against the Knights a couple years ago.
I can see it.
But yeah, I feel like the Oilers are going to come out on top.
Mm-hmm.
For following a trend, the past 2 Stanley Cup losers won the Cup the next year. And the Oilers lost last year to the Panthers.
Yeah.
So the Oilers, if we're going by the trend, are going to win this year. But we'll see.
I like that.
Yeah. That's why I got the Edmonton Oilers winning 4 games. McDavid's sweet.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yep. Nah. We'll go. Who do I have in the East? Devils?
You have the Devils and the Oilers.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, do you really think Jack Hughes can match McDavid in the playoffs?
No.
What, head to head? I don't think he can. I don't think he'd take it. I think maybe Hischer shuts him down, but
I think stay healthy for 3 rounds.
Maybe, yeah. Is he gonna be able to put up with big teams out east, Boston and Florida, come playoff time?
I think the Devils have insane depth. I mean,
I think I might go
I don't know.
Similar to Wachter saying that Florida Panthers are all beat up. I think New Jersey's gonna be pretty beat by Cup final time, and McDavid just runs through them.
Huh?
Yeah.
I like that.
Edmonton Cup.
So 2 people going with Edmonton to take it all home. And then we have the Avalanche. Ryan, I like it. It's different.
Yep.
Surprise.
It's not like the ordinary.
I like to see hated teams do good.
Really?
I do.
is
like
that?
the Islanders.
Are they a hated team?
They're kind of hated on just because they play a weird style of game.
Boring style game.
It's boring. They're very defensive, so there's not a lot of goal scoring.
Mhm.
So they get hated on for that, but I would like to see them succeed.
It happens. We love the teams. This is fun. I like all these teams that you guys have talked about. But teams are kind of the surface level. Because as we dive into teams, we have players. And these players, they all get awards. And so what I would like you gentlemen to do is give me your official award predictions. Now, I have the Rookie of the Year, the Goalie of the Year, the Defenseman of the Year, and the MVP. Is there one more I should add on there?
You could throw on Coach of the Year, but I don't know how many coaches.
Do we care about Coaches of the Year?
I like a good coach, but I don't know. What other...
Coaches are boring. Let's stick with the four I listed.
The Art Ross, the Maurice Richard should be on there.
Yeah.
Art Ross is most points in the regular season, so it's strict at the end of the regular season. You know who won it, most points, and then Maurice Richard is most goals for the year.
Right. Well, I don't have those written down, so you gentlemen can start with those two.
I got Matthews winning the Rocket Richard. Most goals in the season. That's kind of an easy pick.
That's a conciseness right there.
Yeah.
I'd say Matthews.
I don't think he goes as crazy as last year. I think he might be high 50s, but I don't think he hits 60 again. And I'm going to say there's... How many 50-goal scorers were there this year? 3? Reinhart, Hyman, and then Matthews leading?
Yeah, I believe so. Besser might have hit it. He was very
Besser did
close.
not hit 50 goals.
He was close.
I don't even know if he hit 40.
He did.
I would say... But I'm going to say that there's 5 50-goal scorers this year.
Yeah, I think
So it's a tight race.
Scoring's going to continue to go up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Matthews for Maurice Richard between everyone.
So the most goals scored
Most goals
in the
on the
league.
year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other... Ryan, you had a point.
Brock Besser did hit 40 goals.
He did hit
just
40.
wanted to
Okay,
say
so he
that.
didn't hit 50.
You gotta squeeze those points in. He has the internet. You don't.
Yeah.
You know anything.
I don't know anything. I'm like a caveman. I'm like the Amish.
You're kind of like a kid.
All right, but what
Speaking of,
was that other award you brought up?
The Art Ross, most points in the year. Obviously going to McDavid, but
Yeah.
Let's go McDavid.
100% McDavid.
Or you go Kucherov, too.
Mhm.
Kucherov could have big against on his line now.
Yeah. But
Ooh,
Kucherov McDavid, he's definitely going to win it, I would
Uh-huh.
say.
Now, if you guys could just quickly explain for the viewers the difference between goals scored and points scored.
so a goal is obviously when you put the puck in the net. Counts as a goal on the stat sheet. And points is goals plus assists. There's a maximum of 2 assists on every goal. So if Wachter passes the puck to Ryan, Ryan passes the puck to me, I get a goal, or obviously I score. I get a goal.
I love that you had yourself
And-
scored in there.
Yeah, because I'm a goal scorer.
That's crazy.
And then Ryan and Wachter would both get an assist, and that's all counted as 1 point for
Okay.
each of us.
Very nice.
So, yeah, points plus assist, or goals plus assists
Yeah.
equals points.
So McDavid on that one, for sure.
Definitely.
Nate Dogg maybe second.
Nate Dogg could be up there, too.
Yeah.
Nate Dogg or
He goes
Kucherov.
ballistic.
Drysdale could be up there.
Drysdale will
Draisaitl,
be up
okay.
there, but
He's going to be with McDavid.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're kind of a pair.
Well, let's dive into the fun one. The Young Bucks, the Rookie of the Year, the Calder Trophy. Is that the correct one?
Yes, sir.
So who even are the top rookies? I don't even think we hardly talked about that. So who should we keep?
Oh.
Who should be on the radar?
I think the guy that I'm going to pick to win it is going to be Matvei Michkov, the Russian. He's a little older because he came from Russia. Obviously, he didn't have a contract. They weren't able to get him over here because he was on contract with the KHL team. But, I mean, the guy's a monster. I think he was head-to-head or neck-and-neck with Bedard until he kind of went off the map due to some Russia things,
Some
obviously.
conflicts.
Russia things.
Real world conflicts.
I mean, this guy had 109 points in 26 games at one point in MHL, which is a really good league. And then also he put up 41 points in 47 games in the KHL.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I don't know how good Macklin Celebrini is gonna be out in San Jose. I think if he's playing, I don't think he's gonna be. He might have a similar season to Bedard's rookie year. I don't know. Isn't he a smaller forward, under 6 foot? I just think
Michkov?
no Celebrini.
Celebrini.
Oh yeah, I think he's like 5'10", 5'11".
I think his height might affect him a little bit. Isn't Michkov a little bigger?
A little bigger. He's more like well-rounded.
Isn't he a bigger 6'2"? Yeah, I think, and he's a
He's
sniper.
not big. He's just heavier.
Isn't he 6'2" though?
He is 5'10".
He's 5'10" too.
He's 76.
So they're both smaller players. I don't know. I just think Michkov with that KHL experience, he's going to take it.
I agree. I think, I'm going to say someone else just because you both picked Michkov. I'm going to go with Logan Stankoven out of the Dallas Stars.
Ooh, good pick.
Good pick.
He had 14 points in 24 games last year, and then 8 points in 19 games in the playoffs. So he's experienced some high skill hockey for sure. He's very skilled coming up, and I think with Joe Pavelski retiring, or not officially retiring, but he's retired, I think he's going to fill in probably a top six role, and I think he's going to do very well up there.
So I could also see Will Smith being in the conversation out of San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
He's transitioned to the ice?
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Surprisingly.
After he got slapped by Chris Rock, he picked up hockey.
I love that. So official prediction. Oh, one more point, Ryan.
Well, I just wanted to throw out a couple big names to look out for. So you said Will Smith. I would say Celebrini, Cutter Gauthier with Anaheim, Lane Hudson with Montreal.
He'll be up there.
And then maybe Rutger McGroarty with Pittsburgh. I don't know if they play him on the top six. He was a very highly touted prospect, but his hype kind of fell with some organizational issues. So out in Winnipeg, and then he eventually got traded to Pittsburgh. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, maybe Devin Levi out in Buffalo. Is this technically his rookie year? Did he hit the games played mark for a goalie to be considered a rookie?
Not sure about
I'll
that.
look right now. What is it? 20 games?
I have no idea.
I
don't know if he's considered a rookie this
15
year,
or
but
20.
he's going to be a good player, I think, or a good goalie.
Yeah.
And then I like the Lane Hudson pick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good young players this year.
Yeah.
A lot of good skill.
A lot of good rookies across the league.
Yeah,
Look,
for sure.
Just watch everywhere.
Watch out for wild prospect / I guess full-time player now, Marat Husnadinov.
Yeah.
Another Russian, very dark horse pick.
Okay.
Yeah, except he's stashed on our fourth line, so he'll be more of a defensive guy, I feel.
Yeah, but yeah. Hopefully he can show some skill and get bumped up.
Maybe get some PP time.
Yeah.
I get
Power play.
PP2.
Yeah, a little PP2 action. Power play.
power play. Okay.
Power play. Peeps.
Power play.
Definitely.
Peeps.
All right. So, official prediction for Calder Trophy, Wachter.
Matvei Michkov.
Maybe each guy. Rye.
Logan Stankoven.
What are we saying, coming?
And Matvei Michkov.
Boom, Jaiden. I like it. You know, rookies, they're young. They haven't been here that long. But a lot of the time, the guys trying to stop the puck from going in the net have been here a while. Now, let me ask you, who's taking home the Goalie of the Year award? That is the Vezina. Okay, I was going to say it correctly this time.
I got Jake Ottinger out in Dallas.
Jake Ottinger?
Jake Ottinger. He's from Minnesota. We've talked about him before. Great goalie. But I think since Dallas is going to be so good this year, usually it's one of the goalies from the top teams. So I just have a feeling it's going to be Jake Ottinger's year.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked Jake Ottinger. Obviously, watched him play in the high school hockey tournament when I was younger. Played for Lakeville North. I feel like he's going to have another really good year. And as far as anyone else, I'd probably say Hellbuck could have a good year, but the team from him might not be as good. He won the Vezina last year.
Shesterkin could be good.
Bobrovsky could be good.
Markstrom.
Did you say Vasilevsky?
No.
He could be good too.
I'd probably say I'm going to go Shesterkin.
Okay. So I'm going to go with Ilya Sorokin, the New York Islanders goalie. And I say that with relation to my cup pick. I think he's going to carry them throughout the regular season and then carry them in the playoffs. He's a Russian goalie, and Russia seems to absolutely pump out all-star goalies somehow. Since entering the league in 2021, he leads the league in shutouts with 18. So that just is part of his track record of how good he is and how much he's kind of carried the Islanders to being in the playoffs the past 3 or 4 years. And I think he could strike gold in the playoffs and carry them to a cup run, not win, because they're going to lose the Avalanche. But
and real real quick, so we were just talking about rookies, and then we started talking about goalies. Is Askarov playing out in San Jose? He's another rookie goaltender.
Rookie
Mhm.
goalie.
Could be starting.
Yeah, I think he's in the
yeah,
NHL,
sorry about
right?
that.
That's
Yeah.
the whole reason he requested a trade is he felt
Yeah.
like he should be an NHL
Wanna
goalie.
play.
So we'll see if he can maybe get in the Calder Trophy conversation.
Yeah, he has a very good opportunity there in San Jose. Young goalie, young team, so they could all grow together and evolve and make something happen there.
Good stuff. I like that. Goaltenders, very are they underappreciated? Are they appreciated enough? They give goalies
They
enough
get
love.
they get their love.
Okay.
Yeah, they get their
I feel
love
like they're
for
appreciated.
sure.
Yeah.
Had to double check. Well, let me
Yeah.
ask you: do defensemen get their dues credited
Nah.
to them?
Never.
No.
It's always the defense's fault.
Always the
Never
defense's
always
fault.
Right, Wachter?
Always a defensive.
Well, it's a good thing the NHL does not forget about the defensemen because they give out the Norris Trophy, gentlemen. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct? So, who's going to be the best defenseman this season?
I think this one's pretty agreeable. Cale Makar, obviously. I think.
Okay, I want everyone to know Ryan just said this is pretty agreeable, and I got gas faces.
Yeah,
across
maybe
the
that was a
table.
little bit of a hot take, but he's the best defenseman in the game right now. And if Nathan McKinnon and Casey Middlestat, newly acquired second line center,
Yeah.
can pop off, he's gonna have a very good year because they both rely on each other. So it's a mutual thing. So if McKinnon does good, Makar does good. If Makar does good, McKinnon does good. So I have Cale Makar.
That's fair.
Obviously, Cameron Carr is an unreal defenseman, but I feel like one of the more underappreciated defensemen and just one of the best in the NHL total is Miro Heiskanen. I feel like he's going to have a big breakout year this year. He had a really good year last year, and he's just going to keep on continuing, getting better and better, and then he'll eventually win the Norris this year.
I like that.
It's hard for him to have another breakout year when he just keeps going up and up and up, but I can definitely see it happening. He's very skilled.
Especially with Dallas being a good team this year. I can see it. I'm going to throw out a couple names that I don't feel deserve some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes out in Vancouver.
Reigning
last year.
Norris
Reigning
champion.
Norris champ, Quinn Hughes. And then we'll go out east with Adam Fox. Then we'll go back out west with Roman Josi and back out east with Victor Hedman. I think those are all defensemen capable of winning the Norris.
Brock Faber.
Rock
But
Faber
that's
could
where
be
I
in.
was going to get to is the boy I got money on, Brock Faber. That's my dark horse pick of the
Major
pod.
Dog.
I got Brock Faber having an extreme breakout year for the Wild and winning the Norris Trophy.
I really hope that happens.
That's definitely a stretch, but
My dark horse, I would say, actually, did you say your prediction?
Yeah, I see.
Okay. My dark horse is Rasmus Dahlin. I think Buffalo is due for a breakout year. Tage Thompson, it's the same thing with McKinnon and Makar. They're both mutual with each other, Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin, and I think Tage is going to do good. So, dark horse, Dahlin. He's very, very skilled defenseman.
if I had to be realistic, I'm honestly going to go Roman Josi. I think he's
Yeah.
a great combo of offense and defense. And with Nashville being one of my improved teams this year, I think he'll have a big year.
He had a big year with those additions. And Stammer and Marchessault.
Yeah,
Those are two
definitely.
good goal scorers they pass the puck to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know Yossi's going to do good because he's pretty old, so he's definitely going to put his all in these last couple of cup run years.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening for sure.
Very good, gentlemen. And Wachter, are you the only defenseman here? You two play forward. You guys play
Yeah.
hockey.
Correct.
Jane plays defensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
I jump up before a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be focusing on my D game this year.
And who's the best
Both
out of
sides
you
of the
three?
ball.
Who's the best?
I think we have to give it to Wachter because he's the only one that played varsity for 3 years, even 2 years. So we just have to go Wachter with that one.
All right. I was curious to know because, as you know, there
Well,
can only
even.
be one. There can only be the best at one thing. So who's going to be the Hart Trophy winner, the MVP of the NHL season? Who is the best?
I think this one's pretty consensus. No?
Yeah,
Kirill
100%.
Kaprizov.
I would go with Kirill Kaprizov. I think he's going to carry the Wild to a deep cup run this year. And yeah, I think because that award is the most valuable to their team, so it's like whoever
Yeah, but
produces for their team the most and kind of uplifts them and pushes them.
that's where I got beef with this award because it usually goes to one of the obvious like superstars of the league
Yeah.
who light it up probably won the Art Ross. If not, we're second or third in points. But I agree with you, and the award says most valuable to their team, and I think that's Kirill because he carries our team year after year after year. Without Kirill, the Wild are basically nothing. So that is why I'm shouting out Kirill, but I do think it's going to go to Connor McDavid again. He's so cup hungry after losing that one. He was that close. I think there's nothing that's going to stop him this year. So
Saw him in the
MVP.
intro to the show Face Off.
yeah, he's pretty pissed.
He's pissed off.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna have another hot year again.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love if Kirill won it, but I don't think that's.
Yeah. I just don't think that the voters actually pick based on valuable to their team. They kind of just look at. It seems like it's more of a who's the best player in the league award.
I would say it's kind of like politics. It's whoever's the most marketable, whoever's name is the biggest kind of type thing. That goes hand in hand with the Norris Trophy. There's been multiple Norris Trophy winners who probably shouldn't have won it, but they did because their points were so high. But their actual defensive game isn't great because the Norris is the best defenseman. So it's definitely based off politics, I would say, and it's gotten a little out of hand. But I'm not the one making that decision, so
I will
be one day, but currently not.
Okay. So, restate it, just the name.
Connor McDavid.
Kirill Kaprizov.
I love it. I love the predictions like that, and, they're not popular, Unless, is Kirill a popular pick?
He's in the conversation, but it's very highly dependent on the Wild being good, which we're not going to be like the top contender in the league, so it's tough. I think this year, but I think give it 2 to 3 years when we're a contender, I think he'll definitely be in the MVP conversation.
Have to get him re-signed though.
Yeah, pay him give him a blank check.
He's undoubtedly one of the best players.
Yeah, he's. I would say top 8, top 9 maybe, but that depends who you ask.
I'll say top 10. Just to be
definitely
safe.
top 10.
Pretty solid. It's debatable. A lot of people have different top 10s for things. A lot of people have different takes for things. And what I want to ask you guys, we're kind of coming to the end of the NHL season preview, but what I want to know is what is each one of yours hot takes for this upcoming season? What's something you're going to say and people are going to give you a side eye, look at their friends like, what's this guy talking about? Does anyone want to begin?
I did just say my dark horse pick for the year was that Brock Faber was going to win the Norris, so I think I have to stick with that as my hottest take.
Could you compare that to something to let
it would be like, I'm trying to think in NFL terms. Let's say Jordan Addison suddenly was the top receiver in the league like this year.
Okay.
But as obviously Brock Faber's a defenseman, but just like that quick of a jump from being a good, really good rookie to like the best at the position is kind of insane, especially at Faber's age. So
only a JJ kind of.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have to go with that as my hottest take because they said it's my dark pick. So.
Oh.
My hottest take, and this could happen like tomorrow. It could happen in 10 minutes. I think Jeremy Swayman is going to get traded.
I agree.
From the Boston Bruins, just because of the contract situation that is going on there. I think he'll get traded for a young goalie prospect, potentially Devin Levi from Buffalo. But yeah, I just don't see them getting things worked out now that there's been a lot of media coverage about it and everything is just exploited. So I don't see Swayman re-signing with Boston.
Please not to Chicago.
Yeah, please not to Chicago, though. I think they only do it if they get a young, good goalie prospect.
They have some. Chicago's got good goalie prospects, and they could throw in a forward prospect, too. I mean, they don't need a bunch of good center prospects. They already got Bedard.
More?
Yeah.
Please, no.
Frank Nazar.
If it ends in Swayman in Boston or in Chicago, I don't want it.
Yeah. As for me, I'm going to go... I like the Utah Hockey Club this year. I feel like they made really good moves. I feel like they're on the come up. They have a lot of really good young players. I feel like they're going to be... It's a really hot take, but I feel like they're going to be top 3 in the Central this year.
Top 3 in the Central. And you have Dallas winning it. And you scoffed at me saying the Wild in wild card. Yeah. So are you saying the top 3 is Dallas and then Utah or Minnesota?
No, I'm
I
gonna
just want to check.
say Dallas, Colorado.
Okay. So the Wild
Wow.
have one wild card.
Yeah.
Alright.
I could see Utah being good, but maybe not that good. But
I mean, it's
who
hot.
knows?
What do you guys
Yeah,
think
that's
about
true. Hot
their
take.
their
But
jersey deal? Like not having a actual team name yet.
I mean, the
and
jerseys are
rocking
so
with
clean.
I think people are hating on the jerseys for no reason.
Yeah.
If the Wild had jerseys like that and all it said was Minnesota across the front, I'd love that. I think
Yeah.
the jerseys still look sick, and I think the idea to wait a year and get a good logo under your belt and understand what the fans want for a team name is way better.
We are hearing it's gonna be the Yeti though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I would love the Utah Yeti.
That fits.
Utah Yeti would be good, but if they wait this long and it's not the Yeti and something brutal,
then it's going to be disastrous.
yeah, it's gonna be like the Commanders in Washington.
It absolutely has to be the Yeti.
Commanders don't even have a logo, do they? It's just W.
It's just
It's
W.
W.
No.
Maroon and
That-
gold.
The Yeti will have a logo though.
Yeah, they should.
They
at
won't
least,
be a big
but-
U.
Yeah,
Should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Utah
We'll see.
jerseys are very simple, but it's a good simple. It's not like, what is this? It's like, okay, I
Is
can work with
there,
this.
is there a lot of mountains out in Utah?
Oh yeah,
Could
or I
they
think it's
get-
like the Red Rock, like Grand
It's a lot
Canyon
warmer,
type thing.
You think they could get like an outdoor game out there?
Oh, for sure.
in
It
the
gets
winter?
cold in the winters, for
Yeah.
sure.
Pretty cool.
I think that'd be pretty
I
sweet.
worry. What if they don't go Yeti just because of how big Yeti coolers, like mugs, are?
What do you mean? That's a
They
free
could have their-
sponsorship.
yeah,
Well, I don't know,
sponsor.
like, if they would want to do that since they
Official
share the
cool-
same name.
Official cooler of the Utah Yeti.
Is Yeti
Well, no, that's
That's what
what
it
I'm
would be.
saying. It would be like
the
Toyota,
official sponsor
like-
of the Utah Yeti? Yeti.
Well, yeah. Think about like the Vikings are kind of sponsored. Aren't we sponsored by like Toyota, like official vehicle of?
The Toyota.
Vikings
What if
or
it was
whatever.
Viking?
Or it's the Wild. They're
The
the
Wild have Toyota helmets, or
Yeah.
Toyota helmet decals.
So, like,
Trio.
They can just
Interesting.
work out a deal. Maybe that's part of the reason why they couldn't get the name so quick. They have to work out the deal with Yeti coolers.
yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
I still want Super Soakers.
Super
Yeah.
Soakers, yeah, that'd be sweet.
Salt Lake City Super Soakers.
Yeah.
I
That
like
would
it.
It's funny.
That'd be perfect. I could drop a perfect logo.
You could crack.
Could also be the
craft
Utah
logo.
Storm and Mormon.
Could be the Storm and Mormon.
I like that.
Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Well, we've had some hot takes. I mean, I'll leave the floor open right now. Any final thoughts for the NHL season? Anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we move on?
So
Wild
I
make
got-
it to the second round.
What's that?
Wild make it to the second round.
Yeah.
Of the
please, I
playoffs?
pray.
Yep.
So I got one thing to look out for this year that's huge is the Four Nations face-off. It's USA, Canada, Finland, and Sweden. All the top NHL players from those countries will face off in a tournament type thing, but that is going to be very cool. It's going to be over the All-Star break, and
It's replacing the All-Star game, isn't it?
it could be. I am not too sure. It could
Pretty
be.
sure
Believe
it's,
it is,
I think
yeah.
it's fully replacing it. So the
Which is good.
All-Stars for the year are going to be strictly from the U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finland.
Yeah, if they officially replace it, they have to add Russia. I think Russia is the top country, top country in the world for hockey. I would say they produce top hockey players. I would say that.
I mean, one of the top.
They're in the top four, in my opinion.
Yeah, one of the top 4 countries in the world for hockey. They have to play in these. I mean, it's just going to make it much more competitive, and it's not like they have any part of what's going on in whatever politics are doing over there. So I think let the Russians play.
Let the Russians
Let
play.
the Russians play.
I think that eventually they should add, obviously, Team Russia, add like a Team Czechoslovakia combo.
Czechia.
And then if you can't get another Europe team, make a Team Europe like they did in that World Cup of Hockey.
Yep.
And if you got one of those and you still need another team, do the same thing, Team North America, like they did at World Cup of Hockey, and have it be like a U under 24 years old team or under 23 kind of thing. And if they're obviously make those the last teams to be picked, so like you'll never have a under 23 player who should be on Team USA that ends up on Team North America. Have that be like the second selection. And it's just young stars.
Yeah, I like that. Give them a
North
chance.
America team.
Give them a
Yeah,
chance to
it-
showcase what they can prove against these stars.
Top players. Yeah.
make it a lot more exciting and would bring in a lot of eyes, I think.
I'm really excited for best and best hockey though. It's gonna
Yeah,
be,
it's
gonna be
coming
fun.
back
Yeah.
finally.
Very
It's been a
exciting.
while.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Catch them in the Olympics.
Gentlemen, I love that. A lot of stuff with the NHL this season. We'll see how correct your predictions are. We'll have to try and remember it. We'll have to try and go over it. How about we change the scenery a bit? Because here on the Surprise Chat podcast, we have a tradition. Every time I have a guest, I gotta play a little game. I gotta do a little blind rank with you, gentlemen. So, everyone, I believe you have pen, I believe you have paper, I believe I've provided. And what I want each of you to do is write out 10 numbers 1 through 10, and I'm gonna list a category. And I'm gonna have you guys blind rank this on a scale of 1 to 10.
Blind rank the category?
Yes.
Or something in the category?
We've played this before. Nothing's changed.
Was it like UFC fighters?
Yes. Last time I think I did natural disasters or something.
You did historic events.
Historic events, and I started
I had some good ones for that.
That was a fun side. I encourage you all to go check that one out. Me, Jaiden, and Wachter's last episode. But for this one, I told you I was going to do actresses. Okay, but I decided to switch it up. All right.
A surprise.
I decided to surprise you.
Should have expected that. Wow.
What do you know? What a shocker. And today I decided to go with 10 random animals.
Let's go. I love it.
But I want you guys to wait. Because these animals, you're going to rank them on how well you think you would do in a fight with them.
Oh, is this... Okay, I just want to know, is the list of animals that you have spanning across, like, every animal in the book? It could be literally anything.
I'm going from
narrowed into like predators.
I'm going from a bug to something that swims in the ocean. I'm telling you, this is so random.
Could be a stick bug. Could be a shark.
I googled animals and picked 10 random ones I saw.
All right.
So we'll kick things off. We're going for a big boy here. How about a moose?
Oh.
How well are you boys faring against a moose?
1 being the best.
1 being I can kick that animal's ass. 10 being I'm dead.
We're just talking about them at the end, or like right now? Are we discussing?
Right now, we'll wait till the end since it's a surprise. We'll wait till the end since it's a surprise. Everyone, do we have a moose?
Yeah.
I'm not looking at yours, little devious boy. Alrighty, next up, guys, we had to go with a big boy here. A crocodile. Ooh. Crocodile, maybe you're who is that famous Australian guy? Rest in peace. Stingray got him. Steve Irwin. I should have put a stingray. I think you guys could have beaten a stingray.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Do I get? I just want. Is it straight fist fight, or do I get like one weapon?
Nope. It's just you versus an animal.
And we find a crocodile.
Is it like
water,
in their habitat? Is it like a crocodile just walked up the steps here, and I gotta fight it, or?
I'm talking. Let's.
I kind of need some context.
You're in.
I know we're 2 in.
All right. Oh, I like this. How about you're in a arena?
I'm in an arena.
And if it's
I'm in the octagon.
I'm in you're in the octagon.
Hopefully.
But what I want you, so like there's a couple for crocodile for water wise.
Yep.
I'm talking the water is just enough to cover the animal.
Enough to keep them alive.
Is this clear water?
Any water, whatever water they need.
This is
or like average swamp water.
This is Coon Lake water.
Oh, then it's the cleanest water of all time.
Impossible. You ever been to Clear Lake, bud?
Clearest water of all time.
The clearest water. Alrighty. And this sucker, you best bet you're battling him in water. Your third animal, a snapping turtle. A snapping turtle. I picked one up. They're snappy, I'll tell you. They'll nab your finger. A snapping turtle. A little common in Minnesota. We got them up here, guys. Number 4. Mind you, you're just in a little octagon.
Wait. Number 4. Number 3.
Number 4. I've gone moose, crocodile, snapping turtle. Number 4. This guy. How about a cheetah? You're not on the plains. All right? We've clarified it. You got a set area. You're fighting a cheetah. A fully grown male cheetah. How will you boys fare? I can't wait to find this out. Number 5, this one I wrote this and I was laughing because I was just picturing it. How about a full-grown male silverback gorilla? How about a good old gorilla? Maybe you're Tarzan. Maybe you're, what's her name, Jane Goodall? Or is that apes?
Jane Doe.
Jane Goodall. She hung out with the apes?
I know this one.
You know what I'm talking about. All right. Number 6, a frog.
So bad.
From the Amazon rainforest.
All right.
Just stop on it. Alrighty. Are we all good on frog?
Yes.
Number 7. I don't know what I was thinking. A butterfly.
Oh, that's
A little butterfly.
unreal.
With razor sharp knives attached to his I'm joking.
Sharks with laser beams on their head. You know what movie that's from?
Dude, that's who I'm being for Halloween.
Really?
I'm being Austin
Good
Powers for
costume,
Halloween.
good costume. I'm gonna cook something up for you then.
Oh, baby. Shagadelic. Alrighty. Number 8. A lion. A lion. How do we think we're doing against a lion? Could you get behind it? Maybe put in a rear naked chokehold? Maybe a Kimura? An armbar? We'll see. Number 9. An iguana. How about an iguana? Could you fight an iguana? And my last one. Number 10, gentlemen. This one. The water is waist high in the octagon. You're fighting a squid.
Oh.
How will you do against a squid?
I love
No. I'll be honest, I was originally just going to do on how well you like them, but I thought it'd be more fun if you were fighting it. I mean, so I had another surprise.
Definitely would have changed the order of my list here. That's for sure.
We'll have to see. So what we're going to do, you did not cross something out.
I had to, bro.
You did not cross something out.
Well, no, I started writing it and then I thought about it. And I was
Okay.
Like, oh, I need to swap.
Okay, so we're going to go all in order from 10 up to 1 and list what we have. All right, you can kick us off, Jaiden.
I'm starting at 10. I got the silverback. 9, I got the lion. 8, I got the cheetah. 7, I got the moose. 6, I have the squid. 5, I have the iguana. 4, I have a butterfly. 3, I have a snapping turtle. 2, I have a crocodile. And at 1, I have the Amazon rainforest frog.
Alrighty.
That's crazy.
Okay. Wachter, you can go next.
Alright, I agree. First one, number 10, silverback gorilla. I mean, what are you going to do against silverback gorilla?
Nothing.
I got 9, crocodile. I don't have Jaiden, I have at 2, but
I can explain that in a minute.
moose, I had a little high. I had him at 8. I thought it was going to be higher up there. They're going to name a little bit softer animals. I don't know why, but other than that, I had cheetah at 7, lion at 6, which I won ahead of a moose, obviously.
You had moose at, what, 8?
Yeah.
I like that.
He thinks you could be a lion over a moose. I'm joking.
5, snapping turtle. 4, squid. 3, iguana. 2, frog. 1, butterfly.
Okay. You saved pick number 1 for last. Or
I knew it was
not
gonna
for
be
last. Somewhere.
So 10, I have butterfly. I morally cannot kill a butterfly.
This dude is confident.
9, I have lion. 8, I have silverback. 7, I have moose. 6, squid. 5, iguana. 4, cheetah. I don't know what happened there. I don't want to talk about it. 3, crocodile. 2, snapper. 1, frog.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
So, real quick, I just want to explain my crocodile at 2, because that came across pretty early. Don't people wrestle crocodiles? Like, isn't crocodile wrestling like a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to wrestle the crocodile, and I'm going to get the, what do you call that, submission on him?
Yeah.
I'm going to submit the crocodile.
Yeah, good luck.
So I put him at 2.
So he grabs your arm and just rips you around.
How did he do that? I got him early.
Don't they, tape their mouths closed when they wrestle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mouth ain't closed.
Nothing.
I'll smack his mouth closed, dude. You ever seen those videos where they smack the crocodile on the head?
Like,
They close their mouths?
I actually have seen that.
I just I gotta throw that in. I was gonna put snapping turtle at 1, but then I thought maybe it's not like a Coon Lake snapping turtle. Maybe it's like a bigger snapping turtle.
Buddy, you should see the
So I
Kool-Aid
just figured
snapping
with
turtles.
snapping
Dangerous,
turtles,
dangerous.
I just figured they're a little slower, and like worst case, I kind of get behind him and can grab his shell and then throw him out of the ring. Game over.
Raps.
That's there. Otherwise, moose, I think you guys are underestimating. Moose are pretty big.
Yeah, and moose at 8.
8?
And moose at
Oh,
What are you
man,
going to do
same.
against it, though?
Nothing. Get killed.
You could try to ride
I'm getting
it.
killed by
Off
my
his
bottom
back and
4.
try to choke it out.
You think you're beating the squid?
Probably.
What's the squid
Is
gonna
it?
do?
Are we both in water?
Yeah, that's what I don't know
Like-
about. What's the squid gonna do?
It's going to wrap
We
your
literally eat
little
them.
tentacles around
Literally
you.
cook them and eat them. What are they gonna do against me in the ring?
When have you ate squid?
Like one time. when I was
Calamari?
5
Hello.
years
That's
old, yeah.
that's
3
octopus.
years old.
Oh, I don't eat seafood. so
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
ate squid one time. It's like 3 and never again. Yeah,
Ugh.
refuse now. So
It just sounds gross.
same thing with an iguana. What's an iguana gonna do?
It'll bite your throat.
Run around.
So I can eat, you know.
Yeah.
Run up to it and kick it. Right?
I was kind of scared about the cheetah. I wish I had the cheetah over the lion. I feel like sometimes lions are a little slow and lazy and nonchalant. The cheetah just gonna speed
Harry
around.
Killer, yeah,
Terrified. He's gonna beat me like he beats his kid.
I feel like a lion will just like bite your arm, let you bleed out a little bit,
Yeah.
like,
Play with you.
play with you. Yeah.
Cheetah just gonna get
Oh
right to
my
the
gosh,
business.
I've seen the videos of them eating like the water buffalo, and it's like they've already ripped the skin off the face of the water buffalo.
Oh my gosh.
Nasty.
Yeah. Gross.
It's a cold world. Well, actually, we could just wrap this up. I do actually want to know, what do you guys think is the most dangerous animal that you guys could realistically beat in a fight?
Most dangerous animal I could realistically beat in a fight.
Like, realistically.
I would say kangaroo. I would
Yeah.
box that boy. Silly.
Yeah. I like that.
Could you be a wolf? Singular
Nah.
wolf.
No chance.
Nah.
Zero chance.
Wolves are a lot bigger than you think, I believe. Like, they're pretty big.
Yeah, they're huge.
So I don't
Be a
think I could
coyote,
be a wolf. Yeah, it could be the yodi. I think I could just kick a yodi.
Deer.
Maybe do some damage there. I don't know about a deer. They're not very like a buck.
Oh.
I think those antlers are stabbing you, dude.
Hey, have you seen the video of the one buck where he
Like, that's
beat
their-
his opponent? He was carrying around like
Yeah,
his opponent's.
his antler like skull thing.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
It gets vicious, dude. Imagine that coming at you.
It's just
No, thanks.
like 10 points right in the
Ugh.
midsection.
My
Yeah.
goodness. Well, blind ranks, they're fun. We went over a bunch of animals,
That was fun.
but we have other business to attend to. This is the Surprise Chat
business.
podcast. And one thing we do here every week, it's a recurring thing, is we drop our official NFL Week 5 prediction. So, gentlemen, let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it.